In my head, I was like, obviously not, dumbass. But I was like, but I was like, respectfully, I was like, no, it's not. It's all you. And then so you sat down, and then, bro, I just remember the next thing that you said, it was like, hey man, are you Filipino? And then I was like, I looked at you. I was like, "Yeah, yeah, I am." And then I was like, "Wait, this guy's cool as shit."
Sipping on champagne, smoking on that OG strain. I've been through a lot of things. I don't feel all this pain. Pick us a liquor around too. Pour that bottle all on you. Baby, you know what I won't do. I just wanna go and love you.
Good afternoon, everyone. Happy Wednesday. Today is March
Yeah,
13th, 2024, and we would like to officially welcome you all to the launch of our very first podcast with Christian Paragas and Sean
yeah.
Mateo.
Let's go.
If you don't know who we are branding ourselves as the Dream Chasers, and
Yes,
our
sir.
podcast is it is officially called the Wavecast. Each of our
Wavecast.
episodes will be named Waves. So this is going to be wave one of our Wavecast series. This is going to be both on video and audio platforms. As of right now, it's going to be on YouTube primarily. Once we get our feet, a little bit more wet in the pool, we're thinking of expanding to different mediums. So stay tuned. We might be on. Catch us on Spotify, catch us on Apple Podcasts, friggin' Audible, wherever you listen to your favorite podcasts. We might be there in just a few weeks, few months' time. So regardless, thanks for tuning in. Christian, how are you doing today, brother?
Hey, I'm good, man. I'm living. It's Wednesday. It's Hump Day. Wednesday, March 13th, but y'all be hearing this on Friday, March 15th for our first official
Absolutely.
Wave 1. Thanks for rocking with us. Sean has a really fun icebreaker. What you got, Sean? What you got?
Sweet. So I'm gonna be honest. Like I told Christian earlier, this is literally a surprise for both of us because I don't even know what the icebreaker is just yet. So the first thing that came to mind for me, something
Yeah.
because this episode, for lack of a better term, is a way for us to introduce ourselves, as individuals and also as a partnership, as a brotherhood. And so I think a good way for us to break
Mhm.
the ice is what is something that, in your opinion, no one knows about you? And
Oh,
so
wow.
I'll go first. Yeah. So
All right.
again, the icebreaker question is, what is something that you think no one or barely anyone knows about you? And so in the spirit of the game, since I came up with the question, I'll go ahead and answer first. So you guys don't know who I am. My name is Sean Mateo. It's spelled with a Z, pronounced as if it's an S. Don't think too hard about it. One thing that people may not know about me is I listen to video game music a lot. I actually have the Starfield original soundtrack downloaded on Spotify. I have Tekken 8 on repeat
Damn.
when I'm driving through the streets at like 70 to 80 miles an hour. I also listen to Skyrim ambient music and Witcher music when I'm, doing something that isn't really that intensive on the mind, just because it kind of calms me down. At least Skyrim and Starfield and all that does. Tekken and fucking Modern Warfare, that shit gets me hyped to work out or fucking drive fast whenever I'm feeling a little speedy. But yeah, that's something that not a lot of people know about me. I think the only person that knows that about me is my partner. And so she's the only person I've ever had the courage to really tell. So now you know a little bit more
Wow.
about me. Welcome. What about you, Christian?
Hey. What's your favorite soundtrack?
For a video game, it kind of depends. So the first video game soundtrack that I actually got hooked onto was actually Modern Warfare 2, back in 2009.
Really?
Yeah, I fell in love with the introduction of the Modern Warfare 2 game. I don't know, it just
The
it
toxic
gave me goose.
fucking lobbies.
No, no.
Yo,
Here's the
that
thing
shit
about
sculpted us. That shit raised us.
that shit raised a lot of us back in the late 2000s, early 2010s. Modern Warfare is an amazing first-person series, at least the first set of Modern Warfare. This one,
Yeah.
there are hot takes left and right. That's for another day. But Modern Warfare 2's soundtrack is my historical favorite. Number one, because it's composed by Hans Zimmer. Hans Zimmer is legendary for composing a lot of well-known pieces of media out there. If you've
Mm.
watched, everyone knows at least one or two pieces of Hans Zimmer. If you watch Interstellar, if you've watched
Damn, he did
Inception,
Interstellar?
um, yeah, he did Interstellar. He
Okay.
also did If I recall correctly, Gladiator for any of you old heads out there. And he also did Pirates of the Caribbean 3, At World's End. And so
Okay.
this guy, Hans Zimmer, is one of the most respected composers out there for different types of media, whether it's video games, TV shows, or movies. Kind of like the Ludwig Göransson of back then. But now we have Ludwig Göransson who's doing the fucking shit, same legendary shit for Black Panther, fucking
Damn.
what's it called? Oppenheimer.
Didn't he produce
Mhm.
for the weekend or something on My Dear Melancholy? Is that him?
That's highly likely. Yeah, and so
Ludwig,
I'm not
right?
even gonna get into Ludwig right now, but he's another legendary composer. Um, I guess the Black Panther would be a very close second. The Black Panther original soundtrack, not the Kendrick Lamar inspired by Black Panther soundtrack, even though that's like one of my top 5 albums of all time. But the Panther original soundtrack, composed by Ludwig Göransson, it's probably like my second or third most favorite movie soundtrack of all time. But yeah, that's a little bit about me. That's my
Hmm.
icebreaker answer. Christian, what about you? What is something that not a lot of people, if no one, knows about you?
Dude, that is a tough question. I gotta actually think about this one. Like the whole time you're talking, I was trying to think of something, but something that no one knows about me. Hmm.
Or at least a very select few. It doesn't have to be like numbers wise. It could just be like something that relatively not many people know about.
Fuck. I gotta think.
Fuck you.
Actually, I don't know, man.
Smack that out.
I don't fucking. What the fuck?
Did I catch you by
Uh,
surprise that much? Holy crap.
I just don't know what people don't know about me. I'm a pretty open book, not gonna lie.
Wow.
Fuck.
I put
What
the
do people
pressure on
not
you on
know
this
about?
one.
No, you dead
This
ass did
literally is a
though.
surprise.
You know what?
Hmm.
On the low, I'm a big shit talker. On the low.
Actually,
What
okay, I
you know what I mean? You wouldn't guess it. You wouldn't guess it like when we're like I don't know if you just like know me in general, but whether we're playing like a game or like even at work or just like little if I really rock with you and really know you, bro, I'd be shit talking so much like on the low, like some slight shit. Just, it's like very very subtle, like little mind games. Like one thing during like our work breaks if we do get a work break. No, yeah, we play a lot of ping pong and I gotten really really fucking good at ping pong. And so a lot of my coworkers, like we have this like tournament. We dead ass have like a ranking of like best right to worst. Like right now it's
Mhm.
like 1 to 15, and we started that like after I kind of took a break. But even when I come back, like usually people do like warm up rounds or something, and sometimes I'll just like
Hey,
walk in for like I'm like bro, I only have time for like one game, right? And they'll be
yeah.
like trying to fucking play me, and they'll be like, all right, let's warm up. I'd be like, I don't need to warm up. Like, let's just go.
Yo,
I just walk in there and fucking smack everyone. Bam. And
damn, this brother's cocky as fuck. You got to take a photo of that leaderboard. Let's see where you're at, bro. If you just talking shit or if you backing that shit up.
nah, right now I'm not even gonna front. I'm not number one. I'm a washed fucking king. But that's the thing about me. Like, even if I'm like I'm washed or like fucking not at the top anymore, I'd be still talking my shit like I am.
Yeah, that's fucking toxic as hell.
Is that toxic? Maybe it is, but yeah,
Actually,
man.
no, it's confidence.
It's just like, yeah, no, yeah. There you go. I like that positive twist. It's
It's
confidence. It's not
confidence.
toxic. Yeah, it's confidence. Hey, it's confidence. It's not delusion. It's not cockiness. It's not. Feel me?
I do feel you. It's not Delulu, bro. It's complete
Yeah, no.
valid confidence.
Right, right. Yeah.
Sweet. Well, now that everyone has had a little bit of a chance to hear about us, break
Hmm.
the ice and understand a bit more about who we are and maybe something that not a lot of people know about, I would like to thank all of you again for joining us. This is a really big step for both Christian and me to really
Yeah.
put ourselves out there. But without further ado, I'd like to transition straight to the main topic of the day. So, as our first wave
Yep.
of our Wavecast series, we figured that the best way for us to start off the series is for you to understand and introduce ourselves to you. Introduce ourselves both individually and as a partnership and brotherhood, dubbed the Dream Chasers. And
Yeah.
so, real quick, regarding the Dream Chasers Wavecast, Christian and I have a relatively unified idea as to why we started the Dream Chasers Wavecast, and
Mm.
about the intent behind it. We want to talk a little bit about why we established the Dream Chasers Wavecast. We've got a couple of
Mm.
great reasons as to why we decided to take on this venture and why we decided to initiate this venture and take it to the next level. We've had 5 trials up to this point, 5 weeks of nonstop grinding and work. Christian and I
Hey.
have been doing a lot to practice and prepare for this moment. We came up with 4 main reasons as to why we decided to bring this project to life.
Yeah, man. So the first reason, to be honest, since me and Sean live, as you can see, we don't live at the same state, even same location anymore, which is fucking, it's sad as shit. I
It
miss
is.
them. But like, yeah, because we don't live in the same location, it was hard for us to fucking like talk to each other, different schedules. Like, we're busy, and it's, even though we're best friends, like it's hard to find that time. And we just overall missed each other. So we're like, bro, let's start like scheduling. And that's how we get fucking, you're getting old when you start scheduling shit. And
Yeah.
it basically organically grew into like, let's start checking up on each other, seeing how we're doing weekly. Hey, what are the goals that you're working on, and how can we like keep each other accountable throughout the year? And it started super organically and grew into this idea. So just, we wanted to have a platform for us just to have genuine conversations and learn from each other, because we don't live in like the same vicinity anymore, same state. Yeah, we're experiencing a lot of different life experiences. So we want to be able to like talk to each other and like share those experiences with each other and really just kick it. So genuine conversations and being there for each other, being an accountability partner, but also just like being able to just talk to our best friend face to face, because that was a struggle for us. So we came up with a solution, which is start a weekly like talk with each other essentially. And it's been super helpful thus far. But we want to be able to expand on that idea, right? And then invite eventually other people to just kick back and just have genuine conversations, dream chase with each other,
Mhm.
and like catch a wave with us, catch a vibe. So yeah, man, genuine conversations.
Absolutely. Another reason why we established the Dream Chasers Wavecast as well is Christian and I have known each other for over a decade to this point, which we'll talk about shortly.
Yeah,
And the thing about
shortly.
that, knowing each other for such a long time, is we both have, even though we both share many of the same values in general, we have different perspectives and different views on life,
Yeah,
um,
we do.
on just different concepts. We could argue about the smallest of things, like whether gray is a shade or whether it's a color.
It
And
is. It
we
is.
could argue about whether duress is a proper word or if it's an improper word.
Oh my
But at the end of
god,
the
bro.
day, these are historical things that we've had repetitive discussions over. But the thing is, it's never turned us against each other. In fact, it's made us
Mm,
respect each other more for being such steadfast supporters of our ideas. Because at the end of the day, the real values that underlie who we are in relative alignment most, if not all of the time. And so, with that being said, even though and I have similar, if not identical values, we have such different perspectives that constant discourse and discussion will allow us to both expand our perspectives because we're learning from each other, number one. And number two, we
mm,
plan on talking about different topics for each wave as well, each episode. And so, honestly, this Wavecast, our project, is a way for us to challenge one another and help us expand our own perspectives, both collectively and individually as well. And so that's our second massive reason as to why the Dream Chasers Wavecast project has been taking off so far.
yeah, man. And to spin off that, to challenge each other, we also want to challenge people that we want to challenge our friends, our family, anyone who listens to this Wavecast, and to basically ultimately become a better version of themselves, a 1% better version of themselves, through these talks. And the end goal is to basically create a community where we're all just vibing with each other, talking, chatting with each other, and challenging whether it's an individual goal, a personal goal, or like this larger goal, figuring out ways to help each other, create a community where we can express ourselves, express ideas, be bold, be brave, and take risks and not have any, basically have a support team along with you. And just like with this Wavecast, like me and Sean were like so hesitant. We're like, I don't fucking like social media. I don't. We're so hesitant to put ourselves out there, but especially the time and space in our life right now, we want to take risks. You know, we're in our 20s. This is a time to just like fucking try shit. You know what I mean? And
Exactly.
we eventually just want to create a community where we all the listeners, me, Sean, and anyone who rides the waves with us can be a part of each other's weekly routine of being accountable with our goals, chit-chatting, having a lot of fun, and a community where we all dream chase together and ride the waves together.
Absolutely. Thank you, Christian. Well,
Mm-hmm.
well put together, well said. Last but not least, the fourth and final reason that we established the Dream Chasers Wavecast. One of the many reasons why we're so happy to have continuous discussion and put out waves and waves of episodes moving forward is honestly, we're here to have a good time. We're here to have fun, kick back, and talk about all sorts of things that our friends, our family members, the listeners and viewers out there, and what Christian and I are interested in. There may be times and topics or there may be times where we talk about sports, whether it's the NBA,
Oh yeah.
NFL, fucking worldwide football, like soccer football, or just any other sport that Christian and I just happen to be interested in at that given time. We could talk about
Mm-hmm.
boats. This one applies more to Christian hose too.
Nah,
And
chill,
we could
chill,
also
chill.
we could talk about the life of luxury in general. You know, the little things in
Yeah.
life that make life so, pleasant to the people around us and for ourselves. And we could also talk about movies, video games, music, and other pieces of entertainment that we want to recommend, not just to each other, but also to all of you as well. And last but not least, food. That's like one of the other big topics that we actually
Yeah.
tested a couple of waves ago. But we've got some
Hot takes,
interesting
hot
hot takes
takes.
on food. Very hot takes, like scalding hot, like burning sun hot. But we're excited to naturally discover more about ourselves, each other, and also the people that we host onto the Wavecast as well. So we've got four amazing reasons why essentially the Dream Chasers Wavecast is no longer just a dream. It is now a reality that we are consistently chasing to
Oof.
improve upon every week. And every step of the way, there's always something that we improve just by 1%.
For the main topic, let's talk about Sean. Let's reminisce. All right. Let's take a stroll. Take my hand, and let's take a stroll down memory lane.
I'll,
All right.
I'll gladly take your hand.
All
Stroll down
right. All
memory
right.
lane is a different story. I'm gonna fight really hard not to cringe at myself, but
Oh my
let's
god.
go ahead and get started, bro.
All right.
I'm eager to just do this.
Yeah, I know. This is like a formality. Like this is our extending our hand. Hi, nice to meet you. This is who we are. So let's get all this out the way. So
Yes, sir.
where were we born and where did we grow up? So for me, I was born in Guam, Tamuning, Guam. Shout out all the Chamorros out there, all the Filipinos out there, all the Islanders, Pacific Islanders. I have a lot of family back in Guam still. Um, I was born there. I was not raised in Guam. I moved with my mom and my sister to the States. We lived in California first for like a year, and then we moved to Colorado for like a few months. Then we moved to Virginia, which I pretty much stayed there half my life. And the East Coast in Virginia, specifically Virginia Beach. Shout out 757. Let's go. and and then I moved to Washington State in sophomore year of my high school career. And that's pretty much where I've been the second half of my life up until this point, me living in different areas. But that's where I was born and grew up. How about you, Sean?
Thanks, Christian. Sometimes it's nice to have a refresher of where you grew up and how you grew up because I knew you were born in Tamuning, but I keep forgetting that you were in Cali for a year. So
Yeah,
that one surprises me at least once every couple of
you
years.
know, it was the my mom. I keep fucking up and forgetting where exactly, but my mom said it was the San Diego area. I want to say
Gotcha. So
so.
SoCal.
Yeah, it was like, yeah, SoCal.
Gotcha. All right. Well, it was nice to hear a little bit about Christian, where you grew up and where you were born and where you grew up. My guy's a traveler for sure. From,
I
the
wouldn't say all
the
that.
My guy's a traveler, relatively. Now, for me, I was actually born in Sydney, Australia, specifically the
Good day,
small
mate.
town of Blacktown. G'day, mate. And so my entire family, many of them were born in the same hospital in Blacktown, Australia, about 40 minutes west of Sydney. So I
Wow.
was raised there for 7 years. I had the thickest Australian accent that you could possibly imagine.
Dude, I
The
can't
reason how,
imagine that.
yeah, yeah, you can just stay imagining though, because I deleted every piece of video that's out there of me with an accent. So
Really?
seven
Can
year,
you try it?
I don't want to try it. Oh my
Oh,
God, no,
come on.
no, I don't. Maybe if you get me drunk enough in a couple of weeks,
Okay.
whenever I
Oh,
see you
well,
again, probably in
don't
May.
worry, guys. I got you. Listeners, I got you. I'm
So,
gonna
yeah,
film
yeah.
Sean being in a thick ass Aussie accent.
Oh God, that's gonna be so cringe. But yeah, I was born and raised in Sydney, Australia. I just say Sydney real
Hmm.
simplistically. I was raised there for 7 years, and then when my stepdad met my mom, he came from the United States. He was living in California at the time, SF, and he petitioned my mom and me to move with him to California. So when I turned 7 and all the way up until I was about 14, I was living in San Francisco, specifically Union City, which, like Blacktown, is
Yeah.
like a 50-minute drive away from the actual city of San Francisco. Shout out
Hmm.
510-650, baby. So
Oh, okay.
I was in Union City from about 7 to 14 years old. After that, my dad was relocated with a pretty generous offer, backing up that relocation idea. We relocated from San Francisco up north to the very sunny, very beautiful, very hot and warm state of Washington. And so ever since then, ever since I was 14 up until now, I'm 26. So for the past 12 years, I've been living in Seattle, specifically like Blacktown, like Union City. I live about 40 minutes this time south of the city of Seattle,
Okay.
but for simplicity's sake, I say I'm from Seattle. But
Yeah.
yeah, I've been at different places at different parts of my life. The third era of my life is strictly based out of Seattle, but
Hmm.
yeah, I spent time in different parts of the world and different parts of the U.S., kind of like Christian, but more bigger blocks of time. Yeah. Now, Christian, how did you end up moving to Washington State?
So I moved, ironically, funny enough, I moved to Washington State at the end of 2012, right? So it was my
Hmm.
sophomore year of high school. I did not want to go. I was like, it was a very bittersweet feeling once my mom dropped the news that we were going to move to Washington for family reasons. She let us know 3 days before we actually would move. Like she had the plane tickets and everything. Fam, we didn't even have boxes yet for like my shit, all of our shit, and we had a lot of shit. So
Damn.
she was like, "Hey guys, you have 3 days left at your school. We're gonna do all the paperwork, processing, whatever, to move and switch schools, basically all the way in the other coast and the West Coast." And I was like, what town are we moving to? Like, well, first of all, why? Why the fuck? Because it was just like dropped on us. And
Mhm.
my mom had good intentions. She told us last second because she pretty much didn't want to stress us out, but we were still stressed out anyways. It was a last second decision, and it was for the better. It turns in hindsight, right? It was for the better. But at the time, I did not want to move. My sister did not want to move. She was adamant, like she was throwing fits that she did not want to move. And we're like, "Where are we moving to?" "Oh, this town called Puyallup, Washington." I'm like, "What the fuck?" Respectfully, what is that? Like, what are the? Is this place real? Is it like neighboring Narnia? Like, what is going on here? Puyallup, what?
Yeah.
um, Come to find out, I ended up liking Puyallup. But my first year moving in the end of 2012, I did not like the place. And like living somewhere, like a lot of things in life is like all mental. If you say you're not going to like a place, you say you're not going to like a food, like when you live in that place or you try that food, you're not going to like it. Like you already made it up in your head before actually experiencing it. So I had this like strong bias towards like Virginia and East Coast, missing my friends, like everything. I had to explain to my friends, oh, why are you moving? Shit, I don't know. Just like it was dropped on me too, like last second. So my first year in Washington was not good. I did not like it because my mental was like, fuck this place. It's cold, it's wet, it's rainy, it's cloudy. Why am I here?
Yeah.
But after that year, I started to give Washington State some grace, started to, open my mind and I started like liking it, So I started liking it. And then, it helped that I met a certain someone wearing a Luigi hat along the way to make the experience, which I don't even know why, bro. Why are you wearing that?
I'm wearing that because I'm having a bad hair day. I need to get a cut.
Oh, it's all good.
But I
It
figured
looks
I
good
wanted
still.
something wacky as well, something more fun for the first episode.
You
Maybe
don't
that'll
take
be my
L's.
thing. I'll wear hats. I just need to get
Different
a
hat
Mario
every
hat.
time. Yeah,
Exactly.
I need to
Different
get a
hat.
Mario hat.
Oh yeah, we still need to get. Oh yeah, you don't have one.
Yeah,
I was like, wait a minute, did I have this hat because of you, or was it? No, it was Elena.
it
Elena
was
had
like
the
a
Mario hat.
Halloween costume, right?
It was, which is actually in
Yeah.
our trailer, I think, if I recall correctly.
Yeah, I think I was a
Yeah,
vampire or some shit, right?
you were a vampire.
Yeah.
Fucking sucking blood out of cock. Fucking gay vampire. Edit this shit out.
We're keeping that shit. We're keeping tabs. But no,
But
man,
yeah,
I moved to Washington in 2012, yeah, and I hated it for a year, but ended up loving it for the rest. How about you? You have the same
well,
experience or not?
relatively similar experience. So, like I had
Okay.
mentioned earlier, I had moved to Washington State when I was 14. Now that we're getting more into the story,
Hmm.
um, I'm I'll say it's around 2012, June of 2012. June of 2012 is when my family officially drove from Union City to the
Oh.
city of, or I guess the town of Edgewood, Washington. And so I remember when my parents broke the news to me. My stepdad, for simplicity's sake, he's my dad. But my dad and
Hmm.
my mom broke the news to me. It was like January of 2012. So I had about 5 months to really stomach the fact that we were moving like 600, 800 miles, from
Right.
our little town in Union City all the way up to Washington and near Seattle. And so my family and I ended up finalizing the move. We drove two cars, and
Mm.
we drove 16 hours from Union City to a little town called Edgewood. And
Yeah.
so my dad moved because he was offered a position there, or I guess a transfer there, with a significant pay increase. And so for the good of our family, my family made the decision without considering my opinion. But to be frank, I was 14 at the
Yeah.
time. They made the decision to move. And so in hindsight, amazing decision. Um, Honestly, I think it was the best decision they could have made for all of us.
Mm.
And so when we were trying to figure out what school I'd be going to, what high school I was going to, because when I moved, we were entering sophomore year, 10th grade.
Right.
They decided to put me in a school that wasn't in Edgewood. It was in a little town south of Edgewood. And it, to me, looked like a town called Puyallup.
Cool.
But
Y'all
little did
up.
I know that it was actually pronounced Puyallup. And so my parents are like, you're going to this school. There's a lot of white people, not a lot of Asians, but I'm sure you'll be fine. Went through school all of sophomore year, met a couple of people. Um, I got to know them, but honestly, sophomore year, 10th grade from 2012 to 2013 was pretty mid. Like I still got decent grades,
Did we
which
not meet in sophomore year?
no, we
I
did not,
swear we met in
which is,
2012
we're
or
going to
20.
talk about this. No. So
Oh my god.
this is gonna be a great transition, Christian.
Okay.
So
Okay.
from 2012, September 2012 to June 2013, I didn't really make a lot of close friends. I got to meet some people and kind of like break the ice, but I was kind of in my own shell. Spent a lot of
Mm,
time on like Netflix whenever it was the weekdays and like doing homework, getting some A's and more B's than usual because, you know, I was scared. Um, but that was my sophomore year in a nutshell. Still did pretty good, but didn't really make
mm.
a lot of genuine connections that stayed with me the rest of my life. Things changed, however, once junior year
Everything
of high
changed
school
when the
began.
Fire Nation attacked.
Everything fucking changed radically
When
in
Christian
fucking
attacked.
August and September of 2013. So,
No way it
but
was
yeah,
2013, man.
yeah, it was. Yeah, it was, which we'll talk about in a little bit.
September?
Yes,
Okay.
I bet. When I recount this story,
Yeah.
you're gonna know exactly what I'm talking about.
Okay.
So, Christian, since you have been wondering this whole time, when did we meet, and you've had your own idea of how we met, I want you to tell me, how did we meet?
I swear when I moved to Puyallup in sophomore year, right?
Mm-hmm. Midway
I
through
moved
sophomore year.
yeah, I moved late 2020, no, late 2012, which
Mm-hmm.
was like middle of was it semesters? We had semesters
It
or
was the middle of
quarters?
the semester. That's correct.
Middle of
Actually, middle of the
semester.
year, because it was like what, December that you moved, or
Yeah, so it was
November?
like the middle of the first semester, right? Because school starts in like September type shit.
Yes, yes, yes.
So my recollection is I'm pretty sure I didn't meet you that first semester. But I think it was the next semester. It was like early 2013, whenever the fucking I think in January the next semester starts. When we
Mm-hmm.
met, right? In Mr. Seeger's
Mm-hmm.
class. It was math class, right? Or am I like off by a semester? I swear we met like as pretty much as soon as I got there. No?
You're off by a semester.
No way.
I swear to God. You're telling me
Dude,
we were in pre-calculus in 10th grade?
were we?
No, we were in a. No, we
We
weren't.
were
We were in whatever was after
we had
geometry.
to be,
No,
right?
whatever was after geometry, bro.
Pre-calc?
No, no, it's not. I swear to God, it's not pre-calc. I
I
don't remember
swear.
what.
Okay, because we did fucking pre-calc in 10th, and then 11th we did calc, right?
No, we did calc our senior year. You don't remember? We were chopping it up with like with a bunch of other dudes in
Dog, my
calc.
memory is terrible.
I mean, that's fine. I can't recall what math class we took though. All I know
Maybe
is
a
I.
pre.
Oh, it was algebra
Oh,
2.
oh, maybe
Add
that's
Mrs.
why.
Anderson or add Miss Anderson. You had someone else,
I think I had
so
Miss
it couldn't
Anderson
have
too,
been our.
right?
It couldn't have been
Or
our
no?
sophomore year. We. That's why.
Oh,
Yeah, we
algebra two.
forgot
I forgot
algebra
about
2.
that. Okay,
Yeah, so that
so
bridges the gap for you a little bit.
okay, it wasn't. Okay, my fault. It wasn't sophomore year. It was our. It was our
All right.
junior. Okay, that makes a lot more sense.
For the past for the past 8 years, ever since Christian and I went to college in 2015. This guy introduced
Mm,
the both of us and said, "Oh yeah, we've known each other since 2012." And in the back of my
2012.
head, actually not even in the back of my head, I'd be like, "Christian, you don't remember when we fucking met? It was not 2012." And now, fucking 9 years later in 2024, Christian finally understands where I'm coming from. We did not
Yeah,
meet in 2012 because the math class we met in did not start until 2013 when we
yeah.
took
That autumn semester,
pre-calculus together.
right? And Mr. Seegers, right? His
Yeah.
classroom.
Mr. Seegers, our jacked, good-looking 50-year-old teacher who
Jesus,
talked a lot, a lot, a lot. My guy
and
had the
fucked
most.
up our GPAs.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie, yeah, like his tangents, I'm pretty sure they were the precursor of me realizing I had ADHD because
What the
he had this
fuck?
amazing guy. I actually loved him when he was on
No,
topic. But the
he's
thing is,
mad chill.
he's mad chill, he's mad smart. But whenever Christian and I were in class, so you know what? No, we're getting ahead of ourselves.
Yeah,
So
we are, we are.
Christian,
My bad.
now that you kind of remember when we met, how do you think we met?
Okay, now I know I'm gonna get this for sure, right? I'm gonna get this
Okay,
correctly.
get it for sure.
So it had to be first day of pre-calc. So first day of whenever, maybe first day of school of 2013. Yeah,
Yep.
2013. Yeah, I'm catching
Okay.
along. I'm
You're
catching
getting
along.
hot. You're getting hotter. You're getting
Gang
hotter.
warmer. You're on fire. That's my name. So yeah, we met. and I was sitting by myself because I remember walking into that classroom. It was on the second floor. Remember that? The
Yes.
classroom was on the second floor of that building, and I went in the classroom. There was already like mad people in there, and there was one center desk, like kind of towards the back, that was empty. And I'm not gonna lie, I'm a shy guy. I'm an introvert, so like I went to the place that was most safe, which is the desk that no one is at. And so I was like, oh, okay, let me hit up this middle desk, right?
Yeah.
So and then the class was about to start, right? It was like kind of towards the end, or kind of towards the beginning of class. So I was like, okay, cool. I think I'm gonna have this desk to myself. This is lit. This is pretty lit. 2013 Christian was like happy as fuck that I can
Yes.
just have this whole desk, and it was a long table, right? So
Yup, all right.
little do I know, I hear I hear footsteps out the door. I see a fucking goober like peeking out, and then this weird ass dude like comes into the class, and I'm like, oh, he's a student. Okay, I look around me. I'm like, there's no other like spot open. This is the only chair to the right of me because I sat in the left side of that table that was open. I was like, no, this motherfucker's gonna sit next to me. Damn it. That means I have to talk to him or say like, what's up or something. I'm like, fuck. And keep in mind, I already hated Puyallup at this point, right? But this was the turning point, right? So I'm like,
Yeah.
God damn it, fuck. First day of school. So he comes up and he's like on the right side of me, and it's Sean. And Sean was like, his first thing was like, hey, is this seat taken? And then I was like, in my head, I was like, obviously not, dumbass. But I was like, but I was like, respectfully, I was like, no, it's not. It's all you. And then so you sat down, and then, bro, I just remember the next thing that you said was like, hey man, are you Filipino? And then I was like, I looked at you. I was like, yeah, I am. And then I was like, wait, this guy's cool as shit. And then, bro, that whole class, I don't remember the class at all, but I just remember I was like, my mood instantly changed. I was like, hey, this is my guy. I don't know him really. And then, bro, I think from there, whenever that day was, bro, we just ended up like talking, shooting the shit, and started sitting next to each other. And we became friends, from strangers to friends to now like best friends for over a decade, which is crazy if you think about it. 12 years. Or no, like 11 years. Yeah. So that's the story from my perspective. Me coming to class before Sean, and kind of what I was thinking of the situation. What was going on from your perspective? How did you meet me? How did we meet?
All right, so I'm pretty sure we were in a building that was 2 stories. The
Mm-hmm.
class was on the second story, like you said. So I remember rushing over to my next class, which I remember rushing over to that class in particular, pre-calculus,
Yeah.
because I was like, "Fuck, I gotta go all the way from." I had to walk like 7 minutes down the stairs because the pre-calculus building was here. It was a 2 story building, and then we had another building that the main building had like multiple classes in it, 3 levels. And I remember I had to
Right. Three
walk from the
stories.
top of the fucking building, the third
Oh,
floor, and to go down the
wait.
stairs to the
I never
first
knew
floor.
this. Was that why that's why you're like late, the
Yeah.
last
The-
person in?
yes,
Oh
yes.
my
I
God.
wasn't taking my sweet ass time. And so I had to walk from the third floor of the adjacent building.
Uh-huh.
So third floor, second floor, first floor. Walk all the way to like maybe about 4 minutes from this building to this building after going
Yeah.
down the stairs, and then go up to the second floor, and then walk 3 minutes from the entryway of this building all the way finally to our pre-calculus class, which was at the end of the fucking hall.
It was that then. Yeah.
Yeah, and so I walk in, and I'm just like, holy fuck, I'm literally the last person here. So I see a bunch of people kind of staring at me at the front. And I
Yeah.
recognize a few people at that point. We're not like homies or like much more than like friends or close acquaintances. And I just like
Hmm.
say, hey guys, like I just like kind of wave at a few of them. And then I see there's only one spot that's open, and it's like, oh, all right, well, I can't really go anywhere else. And so I walk over, and I'm like looking at this guy. He's looking down not exactly like down like
Bro, because
down,
I was
but
like, oh fuck, please don't
yeah,
sit here. Please don't
yeah. He's
sit
like
here.
making he's looking at 45-degree angle, and I'm like, huh. I wonder if
Don't.
he's. I wonder what he's thinking about. And so I walk up to him. I'm like, hey, bro, is this seat taken? Because I was like, I don't know. Like, what if? And I half expected him to say, yeah, I got a friend coming. And so I was like, all right. But no, he said, no, you go ahead. It's all you. And I'm like, all right, cool. I sat down.
Mm-hmm.
We're in class for about 20 minutes. And I'm like half listening, half wondering, is this the first Filipino guy I've seen all year? And I look to him. He's on my left. I'm on his right. And I'm like, hey, are you Filipino? And then you look at me. You're like, yeah, I am. I was like, no fucking shot.
Yeah,
This is
bro.
like one of, if not the first Filipino man I've met. And
Mm-hmm.
I had already been in Washington for a little over 14 months at that point. And
Right.
so in 14 months, this clown to my left, both in the same grade, both in the same class, literally same
Right.
school, and he just happens to be fucking right next to me. I'm like, oh shit, what's your name? Christian. What's your name? I'm Sean. Nice to meet you. And we fucking chop it up from there, and that's literally how we meet. Like that
Mm-hmm.
is our high school career. And that at that point, our high school career like took off. Like literally after
Yeah.
that, I felt so comfortable. Like at least because I knew I had someone to like talk to about shit. And at that point, like my comfortability level in class and in school just like skyrocketed. Like I socialized with people more because even if I knew I fucked up, like at least I got this fucking goober next to me and like chop it up with him during like I think it was like our last class of the day too. So for me, I always
Yeah.
thought of it as like, oh hey, that's my guy. This is like my reward for going through this fucking bullshit. Fucking honors classes. We call it pre-AP, but honors classes, which are
Oh
actually kind of
yeah.
fun. But
Forgot about that.
yeah, us meeting each other was like the catalyst for me to kind of get out of my shell and like fuck it, just like shoot my shot, socialize with people. And
Mm-hmm.
it's been a blast ever since. That was
And
11 years ago.
bro, that was like low key fate or destiny, because like the stars were in alignment when we met. You feel me? Like because
Yeah.
like what are the odds that like we both move at the pretty much the same timeline, late 2012, and
Hmm.
we moved to a town that's like predominantly white, um, very little to no like Filipinos at that time, right? At least in
Exactly.
the communities that we were in, and then meeting each other, being in the same class, and then just so happened that I was at the table where no one was at, and then you happened to be like it's just
The
opportunity because it
last
had
one coming.
the last one coming through, so it was like by default you had to sit there, and we just so happened to be the only two Filipinos like in the fucking school at that point, and bro, that was just destiny. I don't know how you can't write this shit better, you know.
No,
No
you
author can
absolutely
write
can't.
that story better, bro. That shit's.
No,
I'm glad it ended up playing out that way. You know what I mean?
I
Because
know.
just like for both of us, our kind of experience at PHS, Puyallup High School, was shitty to say the least in that first like year, so to speak. But once we
Yeah.
met, same like you, like I started coming out of my shell more, you know, started socializing a bit more. We started making other friends, and yeah, man, that's how we first met and how we bonded and how we stayed best friends. You know what I really think accelerated our friendship? I don't know if you
Mm.
remember this, but you invited me to hang out
I know. I remember
at
that shit.
you remember you want to tell a story of like how you
Fuck. So I don't. Here's the thing. There were at least 4 to 5 times where I eventually invited Christian over to my house. He probably remembers the first time that I invited him more than I can, but I don't know. I was just like, fuck it. Like I'm gonna try to secure this guy like right now. No, he's my home. No one else.
secure this
And
guy's
so
crazy.
eventually, like a couple, yeah, this sounds so gay. I wasn't like women all over, but this guy, I was like, hey, like let me see if we could be like tight like that. And so
Yeah.
eventually, after a couple of weeks, I start like talking to him just like about random stuff. We start chopping it up, and then one day when we're at class, I'm like, hey, bro, you wanna hang out sometime? Maybe my parents could like cook us some food. We could like kick it. And
Hmm.
so he takes me up on that offer. I legit do not remember the first time he came over. I just remember one time.
Bro,
that was very
what?
specific, that fucking shaped me for life.
What time
I
is
kept
that?
touching you. You got hella mad at me because I was gay as shit.
Oh yeah,
That shit
bro. I was
sometimes
like this,
plays in my head, bro.
bro. Wait, for real? I forgot about
Yeah,
that
it still
shit.
plays in my
Honestly,
head 11 years later. It's
11 years
but
later, I
not like in
honestly
a bad
forgot
way.
about that.
No. Oh, then shit. I'm sorry for reminding you. But Christian, do you actually remember the first time I invited you? Because I
I,
can't remember.
bro, I do. Like, so I don't. I remember the first time I came over and like
Hmm.
actually like pulled up to your crib, and I was like, I texted you. I remember I was like, "Yo, like I'm here, or whatever." And then you were like super excited, and then I remember I brought like I had a plastic bag filled with like snacks because I was like, I don't ever want to go to some place empty-handed,
Yeah.
especially if I'm like a visitor. I want to bring some type of gift, or in this case, with like literally zero money, I was like, "Can I get some snacks, mom?" Like on the way, like just the appreciation, right? But I
Yeah.
wanted to eat those snacks. Those were like a lot of like good snacks, like cookies, fucking chips, right? Yeah, you're
Yep.
fucking remembering now, huh? So I pulled up and I was like, "Hey, what's up, dude?" Like, I actually pulled up. You're like, "No way, you actually pulled up." And we're just like, "Yeah, we're gonna like fucking play video games and watch Netflix or blah blah blah." And I was like, "Hey, I brought like a fuck ton of snacks. Like, we get to fucking eat all this shit." And he was like, "No fucking way!" Like, what you brought? And he started looking at like Oreos, fucking Chips Ahoy, fucking like Doritos, Lay's chip, like all these snacks. And his eyes lit up. He was like, "Bro, tell me why this dude right here ate all of the fucking snacks, and I want to eat some, dude." And then he's like, "Oh, thanks so much for the snacks." I was like, "Oh, bro, is there any left? Like, I want some." He's like, "Oh, fuck, I ate them, bro." I'm like, "Yo, bro, I know I brought it for you, but like, I want to eat some too." And then he was like, "Oh, I'm so sorry. Like, it was so good though." I'm like, "Fuck
No
you."
shame. My bad.
Nah, man. I just remember that I was like, "This motherfucker really ate all of the snacks." Like, now what am I gonna eat? Now, but bro, I just remember that shit. I was baffled. I was like, honestly, low key impressed too. I'm like, "Bro, we should enter a food eating competition."
I down glizzies, bro. Fuck.
Yeah,
I was
literally.
a growing boy back then.
Nah, yeah, they're same. Me too. Me too. But yeah, I just remember that, and I just remember we were like playing video games. We were in the living room a lot too, and just like
Yeah.
watching shit, and you know, it it honestly was an uncharacteristic move of me because I would never like at that time, like I mentioned earlier, I'm a massive introvert, right? That was probably one of the few times in my life I actually was like actively like, you know what? I don't know what made me decide to go and actually pull up at your crib, but whatever, right? The stars line, and I just fucking went. And honestly, I think that's what grew our relationship the most. Because then I started, coming over a lot more. We started shooting the shit, hanging out, and that's in my perspective, that's what grew our friendship the most. I feel like was like hanging out outside of school. Yeah, school was cool and all, but like hanging out outside is what really, really made us like close. You know what I mean?
I agree. And the same happened with other people that we eventually like decided to, try our chances with.
Right.
Fucking math club, bro.
Math club.
Math club was crazy. A fucking collection of Asians at a mostly white school. Asian dudes.
Now we had
That squad.
one white guy.
And we had one white guy. And such amazing people. We still keep in touch with them, at least sporadically. That was a pivotal year for our high school careers, and honestly a pivotal moment for us as we grew and eventually graduated and went to college
Yep.
together. And
Yeah.
so,
UW,
would you like
baby.
to go first and summarize how college went for us, or do you want me to go first?
Holy you can go first. I want to hear you hear your part.
All right, all right. Well, feel free to jump in whenever as well, because this is like a shared
Yeah.
experience at this point.
Yeah.
But Christian and I both applied for and were accepted, whether immediately or after a bit of time, into the University of Washington.
I almost didn't
Specific,
go, by the way.
yeah, I
Because I was
remember.
like
Yeah.
I was like waitlisted, and I was about to go to Old Dominion University back in Virginia.
Oh, do you?
ODU.
So when we both got into the University of Washington, honestly, that shot us up like through the stratosphere in terms of like personal and social development. Um,
Facts.
yeah. So moving from a small town of like, I remember you were based out of Fife still, right?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
was
So you
based
were
out
in,
of Fife, super small.
yeah, you were in Fife. I was in Edgewood. We were both basically like 7 minute neighbors at that point.
Yeah,
Moving from there all the way to the big city of Seattle, just a little bit north of that, and going to like a big campus with like 50,000 people. There was a lot of growth to be had. We first we both went to the campus, did orientation separately, so we both had like some exposure on our own time. But we both went to campus. We both dormed. Christian was all the way up in North Campus, and I was all the way at West Campus, and it would be like a 12 to 15 minute walk to each other.
yeah, man.
Um, we had great friends that we would still call and FaceTime as well back in our high school days. So we'd spend time FaceTiming them. Shout out to those homies; they know who they are.
Yeah.
And so
Shout out, shout
those are
out.
some great memories. Christian would always generously come walk over to my dorm.
Hmm.
Probably because I don't remember why. I think it was probably because there were more like open spaces at each floor.
That
Or
and
maybe
McMahon Hall was literally like a fucking prison,
yeah.
so I did not want to
So,
be there.
all right, I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, your dorm was relatively not as inviting, but it's because you were living in like a dorm style where it was like literally multiple rooms and then one common room between like
Yeah.
five people, and your roommates weren't the most talkative guys.
No, they weren't. They weren't.
Yeah, and so you'd always come to me, which thank you for that, by the way. And eventually we'd be walking around, and then late September hits, about a month into our collegiate careers, and
Yeah.
we run into this table, and this table got like a fucking Philippine flag, basically.
Yeah. Hmm.
And I think we run into this table like at separate times. I think we walk past it once, but I think we both get called to the table by like the people attending it at different times. So
Yeah.
long story short, this organization that was tabling in like the center of our school, the representatives would like call us over whenever we'd like walk by. And long story short, we ended up like taking them up on an offer. They'd be like, "Hey, come join our student org, come see what we're about, and attend one of our general meetings. It's open for everyone
Yeah.
to come up and pull through." And little did we know that that would literally shoot our social lives to a new fucking level of fucking space. That
Yeah.
organization was the Filipino American Student Organization.
FASA.
Yeah, and so it was a student organization of about 120 to 180 active Filipino members.
Jeez.
First year, second years, third years, fourth years, and fifth years. And so people would literally, Filipinos, Filipino Americans, Filipinos of all kinds, or just people that were homies with them, they'd all go to the meetings and be like massive fucking meetings. And so Christian and I decided to actually go together to a few of those meetings, and we get to know a lot of other Filipinos, way more Filipinos we've seen in a single room than we've seen all of fucking Puyallup combined or fucking Washington
Yeah.
combined. 100 plus people, 100 Filipinos in like in this space, this meeting space. And eventually we just, Christian and I turn a new leaf. We get way more social. We start like chopping it up with people after the meetings. The meetings would
Hmm.
have icebreakers, so there'd be like ways for us to just get to know different groups of people. And eventually, like we would take some people after the meeting. We'd like go out to eat, local restaurants, to the dorms, chop it up and like simp.
Simp hour.
We
Simp
would
hour.
simp fucking
Wow.
late nights, and eventually there came a point where Christian and I, people got comfortable with Christian and I, and so the inner circle of the organization would invite both of us to their fucking parties.
Yeah.
I had never drank alcohol before then, and I told myself I'm gonna wait till I'm 18. And so we kept going to the parties. People would get blasted, and I'd just be like chilling. When I finally turned 18 in October, just a month after Christian and I became a thing,
Mm.
I was like, fuck it. Give me a fucking Corona. And
Yeah.
little did we know, little Mr. Sean Don would turn into a fucking tank. Cause I
The
love that
legend was
shit.
born. The legend was fucking
Yeah.
born.
The legend of Sean Don, fucking
Sean
Svedka,
Don.
fucking Captain, all sorts of shit.
Yep.
Like, my grades may have suffered slightly. I mean, I made it this far, so it didn't suffer that bad, but they may have suffered. But honestly, our experience for the most part, our freshman year was shared because we both did so much together. Um,
Yeah.
but after that, we started to kind of stray away, do our own thing. But we'd always keep in touch, Christian and me. But um, our priorities shifted a little bit. I became more of a socialite, wanting to make the memories. Because I'm not gonna lie, like ever since then, I've been more for the people than like just for my own personal like gain and success and career development. Even up to
Yeah.
now, like just finding a balance of both like socializing and career development. But really, that point was where Christian and I, our goals relatively diverged, but we still
Yeah.
managed to keep it so close, and we managed to legitimately stay best friends throughout and afterwards. But yeah, that was like a summation of our college experience. We literally found Filipinos, hit it off with them, and then we figured that there were other things we wanted to take on. Both wanted to take on bigger and better things. And
Mhm.
I'll let Christian speak a little bit more on his perspective on all that and what happened afterward. But yeah.
Yeah, man. I honestly that's what started everything was meeting Fossa, getting involved. I don't know if you remember, we were fucking interns, like straight
Yeah,
out the gate.
that's
Because me and Sean,
crazy. We were like
me and,
one of five, two of five.
yeah, man, we were just so invested in like at that point we were so we just loved the organization and what they stood for, what they
Hmm.
did, who was involved at like we're like, how can we be a part of this? We're not officers, you know?
Yeah.
They're like, hey, y'all can be interns. We're like, both of us, like me and him, like at the same time. They're like, yeah, why not? I was like, okay, bet. So then we're basically like honorary officers in a way, helping out in any way we can. And then, like Sean said, like fast forward a year after a lot of partying and drinking and meeting a lot of people, like we 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 started to kind of branch off and do our own things, but also still stay in touch and like always hang out still. Like I would
Hmm.
support Sean and his like efforts. He eventually became like he became an officer of FASA, and then at the same time we were also starting this new pre-health organization, FOC.
The
Bro,
Filipino Association for Health Careers. That's crazy. Fuck.
yeah. Yeah, shout out FOC. Me and Sean were one of the founding members, so we kind of helped start it, and at that time also with a lot of our friends who are also in FOSTA started along with us. And
Hmm.
we wanted to create something from nothing. And because at the time all of us were interested in pre-health, pre-med, FOC basically was an outlet for us to kind of advance our careers, to pursue a career in healthcare and medicine, but also make an impact in the community and help others along the way. In a way, we're dream chasing before we even made this dream,
Quite literally.
along with others. Yeah, just in person in real life, and it became something from nothing, and it's still something. Like it's doing way better than both you and I can even imagine. And
Yeah.
I really, I'm proud to be a part of that. And now they're doing a lot more cooler things, and like it's reaching new heights, which is like really amazing to see. Same with Fossa always. So then Sean eventually became part of he was one of the founding, right? The founding brothers. Is that what you call it?
No, I was not a founder. I was
You weren't? I thought you were.
are you talking about the
Chi
Filipino
Theta
interest
Psi?
fraternity? Yeah, Chi Theta Psi.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I eventually became part of a fledgling new fraternity. It's inappropriate to call it fledgling now, but back then in 2017 it was.
Mm,
So yeah, I became a part of the first class of Filipinos and people interested in Philippine culture. The
mm-hmm.
fraternity was called the Brotherhood of Chi Theta Psi. Shout out to the brothers. And
Hey.
so, yeah, that was after FASA and after I became, after I wanted to diversify and do other things, I decided to rush for Chi Theta Psi, the fraternity, and I was, gracefully inducted by the 6 founding fathers, became part of the first class. And I still try to keep in touch with them as best as I can today. Now that we're older and have different priorities, it's hard. Not to mention that like those young adults, they're like 20 to 22. It feels so weird for me to like party or chop it up with them. I feel way older. And not that I feel any wiser than them, but it's like, it almost feels like it's not my place anymore to be around there. But, I'm still part of the mentor group. I haven't been doing a lot for them because I've been so busy recently, but, I'm really looking forward to legitimately being there as a mentor for those students because we were them once.
Yeah, man.
So,
Alpha class.
Alpha, it's crazy. They're all the way up to the Etas now. And so for the Greek alphabet, that's like basically been at this point, if you count the years, it's been 6, 7 classes already since my year. And so the Brotherhood of Chi Theta Psi at this point has had, I think, a total of 100 members, counting actives and alumni at this point, both from the University of Washington and the Seattle University. So it's the Brotherhood, amazing organization. I'm so glad to be a part of them still and to still, be there whenever they need me, whether it's as a volunteer or just to show up to celebrate and also provide input whenever they need it. But yeah, aside from that, after that, I basically just didn't go underground, but I figured I'd take my classes seriously, and eventually I had to focus on the next stage of life, which was postgraduate.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Post-grad. I feel like we have 2 different experiences post-grad.
Yeah, we did. We did.
Yeah, man. So post-grad, I was admittedly burnt out just from doing a lot of extracurriculars. I did a ton of volunteering on this like pre-med route to, I knew for myself, for my sanity, I wanted to take what's called a gap year. So it's just like taking time for yourself to basically figure your shit out. I had a few gap years. It was probably like 3, right? And in that moment, I wanted to pursue something that made me happy, something I was passionate about, which was coffee. I love coffee. Anyone who knows me knows I love drink coffee every day. I know so much about it, and I wanted to learn how to make it, handcraft it, because I have this longer term dream that I'm chasing, which is to eventually own my own cafe one day. One day I'll get there, but that was like the ultimate goal. I want to learn that skill, how to be a barista. So I ended up working for Starbucks, working up for Starbies, and I embraced it, man. Like, I love that job. Getting free coffee, free drinks, interacting, talking to so many different people. I worked for Starbucks for 2 years, man. 2 years. So it wasn't a short time.
I actually didn't think about that. Those 2 years went by really fucking fast.
Yeah, it was also during COVID, so maybe it's like that's why. Yeah,
2 years is 2 years. That's still a long time. We definitely lost a lot of time due to COVID, though, so it probably felt like nothing to us because we just want to ignore that part of our life as best as possible.
Bro, yeah. Like,
all of us were robbed of like at least 2 years of proper socialization.
Yeah, man. So that was kind of like my first job after. Well, I lie a little bit. It was like my second job technically, because I was doing research, like clinical research, during my undergrad career. And my PI was offered. Yeah, he offered me a pretty much like a part-time job after. So basically, me doing the same thing but getting paid, which was nice. And I took him up on that offer. It only lasted pretty much like a year until like I eventually didn't want to continue doing it anymore and want to focus on just, honestly, at that point, I wanted to like make coffee, earn money, and have fun. And that was like a moment in our life. And Sean and I experienced so much up to this point, like different romantic relationships we were involved in, breakups, like the whole thing, right? And I was at a point where I was focused on myself pretty much, and that's what I did. I chose post-grad to focus on myself, focus on what I wanted to do. How can I achieve the goals I set forth myself and make adjustments when it's needed to be made? And eventually ended up to the point where I joined the military. I ended up joining the Air Force, and that catapulted into a whole. Did you just salute?
No, not
That
seriously.
Yeah, man. So it's been 2 years now since I first joined, and that was a whole journey, as Sean knows. The things I had to go through to even get to that point opened the doors for me to still pursue what I eventually want to do, all the goals, but I'm just taking a scenic route, so to speak. You know, I chose the path of experience before I eventually want to pursue like my end goal, which is still in medicine and healthcare. Yeah, I'm just taking a scenic route right now, and it's going really well. I'm loving my job right now, and I lived in so far in that short time already 3 different states. Um, well,
Right.
Texas, yeah, yeah, man. I lived everywhere, and now I'm currently in California, and bro, I love it. I love the people I'm meeting. I love the life lessons that I'm learning. I love the job that I'm doing. It's super, super. It feels rewarding. You know, couldn't ask for a better kind of post grad experience, to be honest. Yeah, and it ultimately comes to this moment right here, right now. But yeah, I'm getting ahead of myself. How was your post grad experience, Sean?
Yeah. So I was riding the high of like graduating because it was bittersweet to graduate um, alongside a lot of people that we were essentially growing up with in undergrad. You know, a lot of
Yeah.
the Filipinos that we had met, because admittedly I was like I was all Filipino. I felt like it was like Little Manila when I was at UW.
No facts.
Sort of, yeah, like, I don't think I met a lot of other people of different nationalities while I was there. And so basically it was bittersweet. I didn't really know what to do with my life because I was graduating with a psychology degree. I originally wanted to pursue medicine to become a psychiatrist, but I realized I did
Mm,
not have the current mental focus to finish medical school to become a doctor and a psychiatrist. And so I also didn't have the grades at the time to really want to pursue a secondary school for for a master's in psychology. So
hmm.
instead of becoming a psychologist or a therapist, I figured, well, let's let's throw shit at the wall and see what sticks. And
Right.
so I was able to ask around, and my mom was able to get me an interview for a job in human resources. I got the job. Now, admittedly, I was getting
Yeah.
paid less than what minimum wage would be in Seattle because I was located in Kent, which is
Right.
south of Seattle. But you know, a couple of years um, after graduating, so June 20 July 2019 all the way up until like May 2020, which was right after COVID started. I,
Hmm.
I was just grinding out. And eventually I'd reached 1 year of experience in human resources. And that 1 year is like essential for you to like jump to like salaried ranges or salaried jobs. And
Right.
at that
Right.
point, I've just been like looking to find the next job that pays just a bit more and that also allows me to develop my skills in human resources. Now, that is what I've been doing professionally. I'm still in human resources now, working for a nonprofit based out of Federal Way, which is also south of Seattle. So I've been in Washington entirely ever since graduating from the UW. I've been really happy with myself. Been spending more time creating intimate connections rather than like just socializing with like tens of hundreds of people at random. And so
Right.
it's actually been more of a shift than I can care to admit. After you and I are like reflecting what we're going through, right? What we went through after college.
Yeah,
Yeah,
man.
it's been a bit of a slow shift over to like things that are more low key, more fun to be honest, because when you got a big group, it's hard to coordinate stuff. And the
Yeah.
older you get, the more you know about yourself and how you read others. And so you have a better read as to like the people you could match better with. And you also know how to like push yourself to really go out there and make the most of every day you've got, every opportunity you've got to meet new people. And so professionally, just been working my way up the human resources ladder, learning more, trying to earn more money as well so I can pay off student loans.
Bro, yeah.
And then socially, I've just been spending time with some people that I'm very grateful to have carried over from undergrad up to now. And then some of their friends that they opened me up to as well.
Hmm.
And just trying to do more keep myself mentally spry and physically as well. So yeah, that's pretty much how post grad in general has gone for me. I'm still trying to figure out what I want to do in life, when I want to settle down with my partner, and
Mm-hmm.
see where life takes me. But right now, I'm taking it day by day. I ain't complaining. I'm in a good spot. So life post grad been pleasure, been pleasant. But yeah,
Yeah, man. It's been generous to us in a lot of different ways, even though we don't know it has been. Like
yeah,
the downs come with ups, and the ups come with downs, and I love it all in the same. And so taking it day by day, and we get to this day of starting the Dream Chasers Wavecast,
yes,
which
sir.
how the hell did we start this, Sean? Like why? I know we talked about why, but like how did this come into fruition essentially?
So I'm going to start off with my perspective
Okay.
first, and then I'll transition into how my perspective goes to yours. And then
Oh.
at that point, you can continue the train of thought.
Mhm.
So for a while, I've been trying to figure out what I wanted to do with my life. Um, I don't want to just work a 9 to 5, and you know, just get them. I'm not necessarily living paycheck to paycheck either. Being in human resources pays me a good amount, and human resources
Mhm.
pays good in general. But I want to do something where I've been wanting to do something where I feel like I'm actually educating and being educated myself. I wanted to have a
Mhm.
space where I could have open conversation with people, non-judgmentally, entirely educational, and also find a way to get to know more people on a deeper level than just shallow. Because life's too short. The last thing I want to do is just fucking live and drive at like 50% maximum speed limit. Like I want to push that shit to the limit as best as I can. And
Right.
so for a while, I've been wondering, like, well, I love talking to people. I mean, I always remember what they tell me, but in the moment, I'm like extremely driven to understand people more on a personal basis.
Mhm.
What if I start a YouTube channel? Or what if I just become a newscaster? Or God forbid, what if I end up wanting to do a podcast where people could different, learn and talk about different things, and not just educate the people that listen, friends, family, and other degrees of separation and connection. But what if I
Mhm.
can also learn too? Really establish, mutual respect and mutual ground, so that I can make my life and my understanding of life better and more not tolerant, but accepting and eager to hear other people. But the thing is, whenever I'd have those thoughts, I'd push them away because I'd be too stuck playing video games, drinking with friends. And so those ideas that I had of like putting myself out there would always get pushed to the wayside. Until one fateful day a couple of months ago, Christian came to me with a proposal.
And my proposal was, "Hey, Sean, we haven't talked in a while, and
Yep.
we were kind of inconsistent with how often we talk. There's times in our life, and Sean felt this too. There's times in our life since we live separately. I'm down here in Cali, he's up there in Seattle, where we both would like to talk to each other, but we didn't want to like bother each other because, like, oh shit, what if Sean is like doing this, like, and I don't want to bug him, so fuck it, maybe I won't talk to him, I don't know
Yeah.
why we were like that, and I think it's just like out of respect. We know we're both busy with so many different things, but it's kind of crazy. We both had that common feeling of like, fuck, I do want to talk to my best friend about X, Y, and Z, about some this crazy shit that happened, or like this amazing shit that happened. I just want to let him know, like, like how it was when we were back living in the same state. And so I was like, what if we just set up something to where we consistently talk to each other as like at one, we choose one day and we stick to that day, and we're like, hey, this is our moment to just vent, talk to each other. And whenever we fucking talk to each other, we end up leaving. And we always say this about even when I was in Texas, here, when I first got here, where I was like, damn, I always end up leaving the conversation, gaining and learning a lot about myself. I end up leaving the conversation feeling better about myself and just being there for each other, right? And we're like, we be dropping gems on each other all the time. We should, what if, like, maybe pieces of this conversation can help someone else, right? So it
Yes.
started going beyond what me and Sean selfishly wanted to talk about with each other to, hey, maybe there's potential in the things that we are saying or the things that it's helping us at a very, very basic level. And maybe that influences someone the same way it influences both me and Sean. So like, what if we start, I don't know, theoretically, hypothetically, put this on YouTube, right? Or like maybe start a podcast. Or that's kind of the line of inquiry we started exploring. And then I was like, okay, but like when we started this podcast, like what's the intention? What's the meaning behind it? Both me and Sean love meaning and intention. And it is exactly what we said in the beginning of this Wavecast was, you know, all those 4 things that we talked about. But also we realized we're a lot doper and wavier than a podcast. So we're not going to call a podcast. Everything,
Absolutely.
words have meaning, right? Also words have context. And so I was like, I pitched this idea, Sean, what if we just call it a Wavecast? He was like, what? That sounds cool. Like, where'd you go? Why a Wavecast? Why not a podcast? Because I'm like, podcast just seems so boring. Like, we're not boring.
Yeah.
And we're a lot wavier. So fuck it. Let's call it a Wavecast. And people will catch on because they know the context in which we're using the word, which is, you know, a simile or not a simile. It's like a synonym for podcast. And then he was like, I like that. I like that. And I'm like, yeah, man. And then we ended up thinking about what we want to title this Wavecast podcast. I was like, what's something we both have in common? What's something that we always, always, always talk about to each other? And that's just chasing our dreams, whatever it is. Like if it's just an individual dream, like, hey, Sean, I notice I do this and this is a bad habit I want to do. I need help stopping it, you know? How can I? So I would get advice from you. I'm like, hey, Sean, a week or 2 later, I started taking your advice and fuck, bro, it like really helped me out, you know, getting 1% better by doing that. Chasing whatever dream where I have this ambitious goal. I need your help fucking achieving this. How can I make this a reality? Right. And then
Yep.
Sean would like throw me some solid gems and advice. And I'm like, bro, this shit's working. Basically, in a collaborative level, that's the intention and why we started it and how we started it. But from a personal level, I wanted to kind of step outside of my comfort zone. As you guys know, I said it like a bajillion times. I'm naturally an introvert, right? So I was like, let me do something that challenges myself. We're in our 20s, like Sean said. Now's the time for risk. Fuck it. Fuck what other people think. Like, you know what I mean? If it benefits, at the end of the day, if it benefits me and Sean, that's a win already, you know?
Yep.
And if it affects and we are able to create waves of communities or affect, you know, even small factions of people that just so happen to listen to me and Sean's words and also be a part of it and join the Wavecast and also say their words and the things that they're passionate about, the issues that they want to talk about, the dreams that they want to chase, then that's also a win too. And so really we go into it in like a win-win situation and we're just having fun. I get to talk to my guy consistently now versus a year ago. Bro, we were like barely texting even.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, so that's how we started it. Dream Chasers Wavecast.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Christian. The brainchild, Christian's brainchild.
Oh
And
no, our brainchild.
our brainchild. And it's amazing to be able to see it come to life over the past, 5 weeks. We're using this as an opportunity for us to really develop ourselves and develop our relationship. Or the 4 main reasons why the Dream Chasers Wavecast is more than just a dream and now a reality for us is number 1, we're driven to have genuine conversations with each other and with our guests. The second thing is we want to challenge each other to really expand our perspectives and expand our knowledge base because Christian and I may be different in some aspects, but we don't see that as a negative at all. We see that as a positive, a way for us to not just share what we know, but also to expand, what we know. Because whether he and I are having a discussion or whether we bring a third person or a fourth person or a group in to have like a group conversation about a topic, there's a lot to learn and glean from each other. The third thing that we wanted to do with this, with the Wavecast is create a community where people can explore, and express themselves. And it's important to do that in moderation, of course, but with the atmosphere that Christian and I naturally develop for ourselves, and hopefully with the people that we have here, and with all of you that are listening and watching us, we want people to feel comfortable having just honest, respectful conversations with each other, as Christian and I have and will continue to do, as we head day to day, month to month, year to year, to like our elder statesman years. And fourth and finally, not not the most important driver, but one of the top 4 drivers is we just want to have fun with each other and the people that we're with. And we want our family, our friends, and whoever wants to participate to also have fun with us too. Whether you participate by listening to our feedback and embracing it yourself, whether it's listening to our hot takes and just reacting to that shit, because not everyone's right 100% of the time. And I know I've got some fiery hot takes like Popeyes and shit. And fucking Chick-fil-A is ass. And slight plug for my opinion. Slight plug of my opinion. There's ways for all of us out there to interact with, the people we listen to. And we really want everyone to have fun and start a conversation with people. So those are the 4 main reasons why this is reality now for us. We want to take this to the next level. And Christian and I have a relatively unified vision on where we want to take this, albeit with minor differences. But I mean, end of the day, as long as those 4 basic tenets are being met, Christian and I are extremely thrilled to continue moving forward with the Wavecast, with multiple waves of information, love, hope, and clarity.
Hey.
Now, on top of the main topic that we have, we're always going to be discussing something new each time, and the format of the waves are going to be different each time. This time we had an icebreaker and we had a main topic, and now we have a small sports section dedicated to the NFL and one of the craziest free agent seasons that we've seen in quite a while. Actually, yes, the craziest.
Gosh, bro.
Yeah, the craziest.
What's going on?
So
what's going on?
For background, Christian is a massive Giants fan. He's been a Giants fan even before the Giants won their first pair of Super Bowls with their only pair of Super Bowls with Eli Manning at the helm. And for me, I have been a 49er fan since the Seahawks lost the Super Bowl to the Patriots. And so at that point, the 49ers, to my credit, began a pretty steep decline after that year, because that was the same year that they went 8-8. After that, they went 5-11, 2-14, 6-10, and I mean, they've been on the up and up since, but I've been with them since their shit days.
Right.
Christian and I have a lot of a breadth of a wide base of knowledge regarding the NFL. We've been with that. We've been following the NFL for a very significant amount of time. But yeah, Christian, let's start off with you. What have your main thoughts been on NFL free agency so far?
Bro, I still don't know what.
It's crazy.
What
are some specific points of stress or happiness that NFL free agency has brought out of you? What events have elicited the strongest emotions for you? And I know
really want me to.
I'm gonna make you say it because I got my own piece too. Don't worry.
Fuck. Giants, what are we doing? Okay, hold on. New York Giants, New York Football Giants. Hey, listen to me, Joe Shane. And what are we? Why? There's so many pieces to the problems. You just I don't even know where to start. To be honest, first of all, we're basically in a rebuilding stage. If you have not know the news, we lost Saquon Barkley, literally our best offensive weapon in the past damn near decade.
That's crazy to say. No OBJ?
For a few years, right? But
up until 2017.
Yeah, but Saquon has been our most
consistent offensive weapon.
Consistent offensive weapon, because Odell left us a little bit earlier in his career. But yeah, he was too. Him too. But I don't know, man. We lose our best offensive weapon. Literally the only one who generates offense for us besides our quarterback, if you really want to even call him. Some people
hot take incoming. Nah,
man. we threw hella money. Basically, the season before this season, we paid Daniel Jones versus paying Saquon Barkley, and it's biting us in the ass. Maybe it doesn't along the way, but we basically threw money at the quarterback, saying we'll keep him. We believe in him, and we franchise tag Saquon, and he was cool with it, you know. But now he's not. He's like, I want to get my money. Let me join. Just walk across the street and join the divisional rivals, the Philadelphia Eagles. The rich get richer, by the way. Like, how are you gonna that? Anyways, that team is crazy, and so they get team. Saquon. Not only do we lose our best like offensive player, bro, we lose like one of our best defensive players in Xavier McKinney to the Green Bay Packers. And I'm at this point, I'm just like, what are we doing? They're saying we're going to, and then, bro, all my coworkers at work, they're clowning me because they're like, hey, y'all just threw money to get Devin Singletary. He's going to be your lead back. And you still believe in Danny Dimes and fucking Tommy Cutlets.
Tommy Cutlets. Hey, you guys still got him on contract?
We do, bro. We do. And then now we signed Drew Lock in free agency from the Seahawks. And now my friends are joking on me that that's our saving grace is Drew. It's a hot mess. So basically the Giants are in a rebuilding phase. We did sign Burns though from the
Brian Burns, yeah,
Brian Burns, which is
that's great my guy signing. In Madden, bro.
Yeah, man. At least there's some positive.
Hope. That defense,
literally, yeah. I think we're shifting our focus to making our defense, as elite as it can be, and then revamping the O-line. I think we're pretty much like adopting this mindset of like, let's not worry about, paying a running back the bag. We'll just like rotate them in, draft a new running back or get one in free agency that can approximate pretty much. Maybe it's a smart move when I think about it because our O-line is shit right now and Saquon's not going to do much with a shit O-line like consistently. We're pretty much wasting his talents. We have been. So fix the O-line, then get a good running back is literally what we should have done 10 years ago. But anyways.
I heard you say it for the longest time.
Yeah, man. We're rebuilding, but we've been rebuilding 10 years since I've been waiting for the building to get done, pretty much. When is the construction project finished? Like, we keep building.
To be frank, though, they made the playoffs last year, made it to the divisional with Danny Dimes. And I honestly think his injury just derailed everything. Because you guys had Tyrod Taylor and fucking Danny Cutlets, or Tommy Cutlets. And I think if you guys had like an actual quarterback, I mean, I'm not saying that, because I used to harp on you for this too. I remember when he graduated and they drafted Danny Dimes, and I was like, "Bro, I gave you so much flack." But I actually want Daniel Jones to succeed, and I genuinely think that if the O-line is built, and if you guys, if the Giants can get some more O-linemen in the draft and whoever else like depth pieces in the free agency. Danny Dimes and whoever else they draft as offensive weapons, just give Danny Dimes time to throw, maybe running lanes, because he's a speedy ass motherfucker.
No, yeah, he can run.
Yeah,
he can run.
Exactly. And the Eagles and the Lions, they're both predicated on having amazing offensive lines. And look how far they made it until the fucking Eagles fell off a cliff. Thank God. There really is a God when you know the Eagles fucked up. I was like, God damn. I was praying on the Eagles' downfall. I'm not even gonna lie. They may have Saquon, but they lost Jason Kelce. They still gotta play the Cowboys twice a year, and then now they gotta play. I believe in the Giants, and I actually don't know if the Eagles play the Niners again, but I am praying that we do because I want to see another 42-19 beatdown. I want to shut the Eagles fans up. We were cordial until they started to talk their shit. Those fucking little bitches. And so I want to see Philly on their knees. I want to see Penn State burn. I want to see the Eagles burn. I want to see the 76ers keep tanking and fucking doing shit, bro. Like, no. Fuck Saquon, bro. Saquon is a fucking glass cannon, bro. Watch. That shit's not going to change a thing. Because here's the thing.
Mm-hmm.
I think their success from their Super Bowl run 2 years ago was predicated on the offensive and defensive coordinators that they lost last year. That's why they fell off. They went 10-1 and fell off after that. After the Niners fucking blew the wheels off their cart, bro. And that was lovely to see. You know what? I'm gonna watch the highlights after this just to make myself feel better about the Niners loss. But at least the Niners made it far in the playoffs.
Yeah.
And so the one thing we have in common is we both lost to the Chiefs, which I'm still mad at the Chiefs for that. But at least they beat the Eagles, so I don't hate the Chiefs.
Man, it's a hot take I even have because I was talking to my coworkers and I was like, bro, no matter who you put behind the Giants O-line, they're gonna, like, as soon as Danny Dimes snaps the ball, he has three motherfuckers right in front of him. Like, what do you want him to do?
Crazy.
Bro,
That's
what do you
crazy.
want him to do? Anyone, Mahomes can be in that quarterback room, that quarterback situation. As soon as he snaps the ball, he's not going to be able
roll
to do
right or
it.
left.
Yeah, you gotta scramble. You gotta save yourself. So honestly, I can't put the blame on Danny Dimes. He has done more than we can even ask for, and like, we're not giving anyone a fair shot to succeed. We're not setting anyone up for success. I think that's why we like sent Saquon off. Like, I kind of want him to like do well for his career because he's a nice guy. You know what I mean? He's done a lot for our franchise. He was loyal with us, taking multiple like franchise tags. He deserved his bag, pretty much, is what I'm saying. And it sucks it has to be the Eagles.
Though?
Like, literally anyone but the fucking Eagles. Like, why? Now we got to see him
What
two
about the
times a year.
Ravens? That would have made the Ravens more likable.
But the Ravens got fucking Derrick Henry. My goodness. What? Bro. Granted, they have no one to throw it to. So, hey, defensive coordinator, just stack the box.
Yeah, honestly, just stack the box and
it's not like Lamar can throw. No, I'm playing.
Oh, that's a hot take. That's a flaming hot take. Oh, actually,
I saw him throw into triple coverage when the game is on the lot, dog. I saw him
also decimate the Niners secondary too.
Yeah, true. He's inconsistent. I don't know. He has that playoff choke artist vibe. Those allegations he needs to beat. Like, it's another year where he's like falling under that category. It's sad to see because he's such a great talent. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like Dak Prescott, but like better looking and better.
And better.
Yeah,
bro. I'm feeling blue about Big Blue. The draft is my season. I want us, and we'll cover the draft in future Wavecast, and we'll fucking talk about more. Yeah, in a month. It's kind of crazy. Please just draft like an offensive lineman or Malik Neighbors. Please, someone. We just need a weapon. We actually need a solid number one or an O-line. My suggestion is draft offensive lineman every single round until we get this shit right. Like, don't
fuck everyone else. Every position is good. Just get us linemen.
Yeah, bro. We could focus on skill positions next year because we're not going to be good this year.
Protect the quarterback and get open lanes for the running back. Maybe even draft a tight end if you need to. Yeah,
literally.
Because even tight ends can help with pass protection and can get open. Like, imagine if they had like a George Kittle. Hey, and George Kittle was select George Bowers. Kittle and Travis or Brock Bowers, but Brock Bowers is a first round talent though. When you think about
what do you mean? We have the sixth round. We have the number 6 pick. We can.
But why would you spend the last time it was spent on a tight end was that high was Kyle Pitts, and I think that was like the fourth or the 8th pick. I forget.
Oh yeah, he was like the 4th pick, right? It's kind of crazy.
Yeah, but the coach at the time, Arthur Smith, just refused to use him and Bijan Robinson, and now he's gone. But a lot of good tight ends, great tight ends, weren't even picked in the first round. Sam Laporta, the most recent example, 5th rounder. George Kittle, 5th rounder.
Travis
Kelce, I think was a sixth rounder, yeah. And so hopefully the Giants have the scouting department on tight ends or calling up the Niners right now to see what tight ends they draft. Because tight ends are really underrated, but when they hit on that tight end, that shit is game changing, like for real.
Nah, for real.
I'm rooting for the Giants. If we face each other in the playoffs, though, it's OT, bro. It's fucked.
We're not. As a diehard Giants fans, we're not making the playoffs, dog. I'm rooting for the Niners this season. I am in the Bay Area, so like California, you know. So I'm rooting for the Niners. My Giants, I think I'll save myself the heartache, the heart attack, the heartbreak by not watching their games. Feel me?
Damn.
I'll keep the score from time to time, but I'm not investing 3.5 hours for us to lose. I know the outcome. You feel me?
Yeah, that's just depression fuel right there.
Yeah, I don't want that. I don't want that energy right now.
Fair enough.
Yeah. How about you? What's your take on this fucking crazy free agency? And it's still going. Like there's still
signings
being
to be
made,
yeah.
signings. I saw the Saints just like drop Michael Thomas. So where the fuck is he gonna go?
That's fucking crazy.
Like
to go from hero to zero, but he's been injured.
Yeah.
Honestly, as many headlines as there have been, I've just been so focused on the 49ers. And
what moves have you guys made? Because I have no idea.
So they're releasing Eric Armstead. Eric Armstead is one of my favorite players on the Niners team because he's been with them since 2016. So he's been there almost a little over 8 years. But they're releasing him to make cap space. He wouldn't take a pay cut, which I mean makes sense. He's like in his 30s.
Where is he going?
Don't know. They just intend to release him after June 1, I think, to save money. I mean, yeah, but you guys have like a wealth of defensive linemen already, and Bobby Okereke.
Yeah.
So you guys have fucking you guys are good. Kayvon Thibodeau, Brian Burns. Who the fuck's your middle? Who's your defensive lineman? I forget who.
Oh, we just draft. Leonard Williams. No, not anymore.
No, he
went to Seattle. He's with the Seahawks.
Yeah.
Same with Love.
Yeah. So there's that, but
it's Aziz Ojulari, Kayvon Thibodeau. We got,
and then now Brian Burns.
And
now it's all about finding some defensive.
Sexy Dexy. Hello, Dexter Lawrence.
That's right, Dexter Lawrence. Yeah, so you got 3 amazing defensive linemen right there. Like you're about to have a pass rush that actually might get you to the wild card.
They'll be tired of shit because the offense is gonna go 3 and out.
I mean, we'll see. We'll see what Danny Dimes can do. I'm a believer in
offensive lineman. He can. I believe it too. I believe he can do well. We need to fix the O line.
Yeah, you gotta protect the quarterback and the running backs. So I still believe in the Giants. I don't know if you'll be division winners, but anyway, anything can happen. But yeah, with the free agency, I've just been focused on the Niners just potentially losing Eric Armstead. It's not official until June 1st. Which is a long ways away, but if I'm reading correctly, but it's to save money against the cap. If you release certain players after June 1st, there's less money counted against the team's salary cap. So that's what the Niners are doing. They've already they've restructured contracts for Fred Warner and Kyle Juszczyk to make sure they have space. So it looks like they may be gunning for like a massive free agent. There have been talks of Joey Bosa.
Bro, yeah, pairing the brothers together is going to be crazy.
That'd be crazy. Black quarterbacks beware.
Hey, bro,
edit that shit out.
Keeping that shit in.
Yo, the Republicans, baby. That's great. So every time I'm on Niners social media, or actually NFL social media, it's like you see in the comments, Nick Bosa highlights, someone says, "Of course he did that shit. Quarterback's black."
Oh my god, bro.
Of course he didn't get a sack. He didn't fucking Kirk Cousins. He's white. And so it'll be really funny to see Joey and Nick Bosa reunite. I'm kind of hoping they spend more money on the secondary, but I don't know. The Niners haven't been hitting on defensive line draft picks in a long time. So maybe fuck it, draft everywhere except defensive line. Pay for someone big for the defensive line and call it good. But yeah, I've just been focused on Niners free agency more than the NFL because fuck them. If the Niners can keep who they got, I think we'll make a playoff run.
No, you guys will for sure be in playoffs.
Yeah, so a playoff run because when those 2 playoff games, the one against the Packers and the one against the Lions, bro, anything could happen. Anything could happen. That shit was. I was in another nation and I was feeling fucking heart. Yeah,
bro. I remember I was texting you. It was during the Lions game when you guys were down hella. Yeah. Remember I was texting. I was like, bro, we're gonna come back. I was positive for you. I was like, yo, I sense a comeback season. And this was like in halftime when we were down hella. And what do you know? I just ended up texting. I was like, what did I fucking tell you, Sean?
21-10, and I was like,
yeah, man. Hey,
Fucking
I'm
sports,
rooting for the
man.
Niners. You're rooting for the Giants. Hopefully,
Yeah.
both of our teams do well. That would be best case scenario, best outcome. But
Imagine both teams making it to the NFC Championship. We'd have to watch the game. We would
you are,
have to go to either New York or
yeah,
New Jersey or San Francisco. I'm not gonna
I
lie,
know.
Christian. I have a really good feeling about the Giants.
Really? Just based off
Yeah.
of our defense? Like you're just thinking defense is going to carry?
Defense carry, and if Brian Daboll fucking drafts offensive lineman, I think that's and like maybe gets another wide receiver. I think you guys are the NFC East has not had a repeat division winner that much. And I
Yeah, I
guess it could
know.
be
It's changed
it
every
could be the
time.
Commanders, but they're fucking
They got
idiots.
they got Austin Eckler. They just picked up who else? Who was it?
Oh
It was
yeah.
like a big signing today.
Oh, they got Bobby Wagner.
Frankie Louvu. But yeah, Bobby Wagner. That's what it was. They got Wagner. So
Wait,
the Jeremy Chin, bro. They got some people. Come on now.
damn, they got people. That would have made like an all-star fantasy team from 2019.
Yeah, honestly, Commanders ain't doing shit. Just like always, this is gonna be like ran by the Eagles, Cowboys, with the Giants trailing behind and the Commanders trailing behind.
Dude, they're gonna be 7-10. I'm pretty sure the Nines are gonna be at like 9-7, 9-8.
Yeah, I could see us being like 500 plus or minus one game, like
Yeah,
one of
exactly. So,
some
and
somewhere
anything can
around there.
happen. Anything can
Yeah,
happen.
anything happen.
But one of the
Hmm.
most popular items that people liked about our trial waves was this new corner that you actually came up with. And this new section is specifically regarding self improvement. So,
Hmm.
this is a section where we talk about one tip, um, one piece of advice, or one lesson that you or I learned that helped or is helping us, work through daily stressors. So, Christian, um, I'm really excited to hear what you have to say for this section, so I'd like for you to take us away.
Yeah, man, the self improvement talk. It's always good to like kind of peruse through different advice and just kind of hear different perspectives on how we look at life and how we look at like how we want to be better people at the end of the day. And what I have for y'all today is not really an advice, but like a quote. So kind of unorthodox, but it's a quote that has stuck with me since, no joke, like middle school when I first like read this quote, and it's by an American essayist, American philosopher back in the 19th century, back in like early 1800s. He goes by the name by Henry David Thoreau. You may have heard the name before, but it's a quote that it has resonated with me, and it's kind of helped me throughout my life at different moments. And if you guys have not heard this quote, it goes like this quote, "If you have built castles in the air, your work need not be lost. That is where they should be. Now put the foundations under them." And so basically what this quote is getting at is basically, and I think it ties in a lot with the concept of dream chasing and being a dream chaser, is, I'll say the quote again, "If you have built castles in the air, your work need not be lost. That is where they should be. Now put the foundations under them." That shit's inspiring, bro. When I first read that shit, I was like, what an elegant, like sexy way to kind of describe dream chasing to a lot of people, because whether it's like a lofty idea or like an ambitious idea or just something that maybe you're scared to pursue further because of maybe judgment or because of, it doesn't fit in like this character box that I've been associated when this is not my identity. Oh, I've been known as the math guy. Like I'm doing something artistic. I shouldn't do that because people have these perceptions, these labels that I place on you. Like, no, you're the funny guy. Why are you doing like serious shit? Oh, you're the serious guy. Why are you trying to do comedy? Hey, you're the math nerd. Like, why are you why are you trying to
Yeah,
make music? Like that shit's lame. That's not wavy at all. Like, and so this quote resonates with me specifically because of what we're doing right now. We're getting out there. We are kind of putting ourselves online in a new way and starting this Wavecast. And in a way, we have generated an idea, kind of creating this community where we can hold each other accountable and dream chase together, built castles in the air. And me and you, we had hesitations about this. Should we? But I don't want to be online. Like, I'm scared of what people may think. Like, fuck all that noise, right? Let's just fucking put the foundations under them, and you'll build up to the castles, and it'll eventually become that castle in the air, like high in the clouds, which is our logo. Hey, the clouds. The clouds are essentially, the clouds form high, right? High in the sky, and the concept of the logo kind of going like super, like kind of far left field, but the clouds are formed in the air, but the clouds have wings and they're trying to form even higher than where they formed before. And so that's kind of like the concept into the design of our logo. But anyways, right, the quote, I thought that would be insightful for anyone that just wanted to hear that. If you have these castles in the air, you don't have to be scared, you know. Life is about chances. You just got to take them, roll with the punches, and who knows, like end up going from something that you had never dreamed of to something you have never would have dreamed of. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Something that started as a fearful like idea to something that is like you can't even imagine how far it has progressed and how far you have progressed by doing so. So chase those dreams, you know, ride the waves, take the steps, pursue the idea, do the thing. Wherever you're at in life, like I'm sure this applies so many different ways, from small to large. But if you need to hear that shit is motivating. That makes me want to like just get after it every day. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's like damn near my favorite quote, my favorite life quote.
I appreciate you for sharing that. That actually does mean a lot because at first it took me a while to really understand what the quote meant, but I mean, yeah, we've got houses and castles in the sky up in our minds. All that matters is like actually building the base and then go from there.
Yeah. Building a base
Actually
and going
taking
from there.
action. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, man. I'm glad you like it. I wanted to do something light for this one, just to kind of get the gears turning. I wanted to make it thematic too. That's why I was like, hey, this is perfect for Dream Chasers.
An amazing way to kick us off.
Yeah, wherever you're at in life, it's never too late to just pursue the idea, pursue the thing, pursue the person, pursue the idea, pursue the job, pursue the you got this, and the castles are there for a reason.
Christian and I usually like to end our waves with an interesting idea that gets our mind flowing even more. Christian has been the man in charge, El Jefe, because he's had some amazing ideas for this.
What the fuck?
But Christian, I'd like for you to explain how we're going to end this wavecast, how we're going to end this wave.
All right, Dream Chasers. So for all the listeners out there, we are going to end the wavecast per tradition with these hypertheticals. I know the word is actually hypothetical, but it's hyper because I get fucking hyped just thinking about these. It's these little fun brain teasers, would you rathers, fucking like fantasy questions that is just really fun to talk about. So I'll give you an example. We'll start off with the first one, right? Shauna, I'm going to text you. I came across this like interesting post, right? And I'll put it up for the visual, for the listeners. I'll put it on the visual wavecast so that way y'all can see it too. All right, I sent you it. So the situation is you get a string of texts. Pretty much you get 2 texts. You look at your phone, right? It's just a random Wednesday or random Friday, and you get a text from your girlfriend or your wifey, and she texts you, hey, baby, I have a lot on my mind right now. Can you please come over? Right? So you get that. A minute later, and this is your girl, right?
Yeah.
Minute later, you get your bro, your best friend. So basically me, right? And I text you, yo, bro, I got a lot on my mind right now. Trying to cruise. So you get these 2 messages at the same time, right? At the same time. Who are you going to respond to first? Like, how are you going to handle the situation? Both people need you. You got your girl. She's like, you don't know what the fuck this shit could be. And you got your best friend. I'm like, and you know I don't reach out to you for some shit like that unless I really fucking need you, right? This is a tough one. You get the text at the same time. What are you doing, bro? Who you texting first? Who you calling? Who you ignoring?
Um, well, to be fair,
Mhm.
wifey texted 1 minute earlier.
You're
So,
gonna.
in a perfect world, I would respond to her first because she hit me up first. But if we're talking
Okay.
like literal, it would be whoever I quote unquote have neglected the most,
So whoever
if there
you.
is any. Whoever I haven't been talking to as much, or whoever I feel like I haven't been supporting as well.
Hmm. That's a
Yeah,
good. That's a good answer.
yeah. So right now, it would edit that out. Wait, I can't say who I'd actually choose between you and Elena.
Bro, fuck it.
But no, no, I can't because
I'm not
then
gonna be
that
offended.
there's assumptions that have to be made. So basically, back to the topic at hand, I would legitimately choose whoever between the both of you at a given time is having the shittiest time and who I haven't talked to the most or who I feel
Okay.
like I haven't been like doing enough justice for. Just because it's like my way to like equalize things and I don't know, like I happily choose people that have multiple support systems, but at the same time, I gotta live a balanced life. It's just whoever I've neglected the most at that given time.
Okay.
Your turn, motherfucker.
Wow. That was such a fucking cop out answer. No, but
You asshole!
I wanted you to pick one, dog.
All right, then I'll pick wifey because she's texting me first.
Okay. Based off, but if I texted you a minute earlier, you would.
Yes, I would go to you first because my other situations do not apply. Okay, now your turn.
All right.
Wait,
This
you
was.
can't. This doesn't even apply to you right now.
Yeah, I'm single as fuck.
For now.
um. Yeah, but we'll see. We'll see.
Shit. All right, who
But
would you pick, bitch?
if I did, right? I would. I don't even. I didn't even really think about my answer, but I think I would. That is tough. I would go. I think I would drive. I would text both of you guys at like pretty much the same time, and I would say I'll text one person. Don't know who, but I'll text one person. Yeah, I'll call you right now so we could talk about it. But then I'll drive to the other person's location. Try to conquer two birds with one stone. So I'll basically like
Wow.
pull up to wifey's crib, be like, yeah, like I'm coming over right now, right? And as I'm like driving, I'm gonna call bro. I'm gonna call you. I'll be like,
That's
bro,
hilarious.
what's good? Like what's going on? And then we'll like talk about it. And hopefully the drive is long enough to where we can
All right.
to where we can, you feel me? So
I
wifey
do feel
knows
you.
like that I'm on the way, and if shit is really bad on the phone call with you, maybe I'd miss a turn. Take a scenic route, take the back roads. I'm like, I'm not lying, I'm on my way. It's just, you feel me? I'm kind of taking a long time. um
Solid.
so I think I'll try to kill two birds with one stone because I would feel really bad personally to neglect either one or to
Hmm.
like invest full time one and not like invest any time with the other. So I'll try to multitask as best as I can.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
man. To all listeners listening to this hypothetical, what would you do? Let us know in the comments, or roast us for our opinions. If like
can't wait for the
we
hot takes.
last one, we're
All
gonna end it
right.
like this.
Okay.
How many people in the world do you trust completely?
Maybe 7.
All right. So of those 7 people, you're now trapped in an island with them, and you're forced to all play Mafia, where there's one killer selected, and you know the game of Mafia, right?
Yeah. Oh, we know this intimately well.
Yeah, man. So those 7 people that you completely trust, you're on an island with them, and you play a game of Mafia. One killer selected. You have one game to pick out the killer correctly, or else everyone, including yourself, dies. But the thing is, the 7 people that's on the island with you, they have to play their roles. They can't just be like, "No, I'm the killer. Trust me." Like you have to really, really.
They have to sell it, basically.
Yeah. So it's like a tough game of Mafia, and you completely trust them. So all the telltale signs of like, oh, this guy's telling the truth, this guy's telling the truth, this guy.
Yeah.
But do you think you would be able to select the killer to save everyone?
I think I would. Because the person that still has to kill, or the killer, still has to lie.
Yeah, they have to
And
lie.
yeah, and I know most of their tells. Because I've been
Okay.
with them for a long time, or I've seen them lie to others.
You see
So,
them lie to other.
yeah, and I'm confident they respect me enough to when they look me in the eye, they'll know that fucking shit's on the line. They'll fucking choke. The
Yeah.
slightest quiver of a voice.
I'm off there.
I'm good. Yeah. What about you? Do you think you'd be able to win it, or do you think we'd both be gullible?
No, I'd be gullible as fuck. I would lose the game. I'm sorry. I don't think I'd be able to pick out the killer. I'd be like, fuck it. You're the killer.
Well, if you choose a small amount of people, then the higher chances you got a higher chance. So depends on how many people you trust entirely. How many people do you trust entirely?
Ooh. 3.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's basically a 1 in 3 chance.
Maybe it's like, yeah, I don't know.
Who do I dislike the most right now? You lying.
You're lying. Why are you lying? But yeah, man.
Interesting question.
Yeah. Fun hypotheticals to end the Wavecast on. All right, guys.
Thank you, Christian.
Yeah, no. Thank you for entertaining that shit. But thank you to all the dream chasers out there, all the listeners that have been riding the wave with us thus far. If you made it this far, hey, congrats to you. Thanks for rocking with us. We're going to produce more of these. It's a weekly thing. We're aiming to have all the episodes out on Fridays. Hopefully we can be a part of your weekly routine. Keep rocking with us. Keep rocking with y'all. Eventually, maybe you could hop on the Wavecast with us, shoot the shit, talk about things that you're passionate about, dreams that you're chasing for yourself. And yeah, man, let's keep the waves coming. Wave 1 is finished. On to wave 2. Thank you for tuning in again. Thank you for watching. Keep cashing and riding the wave with us. And Dream Chasers, we out.
Just sipping on champagne, smoking on that OG strain. I've been through a lot of things. I don't feel all this pain. Pick us a liquor around too. Pour that bottle all on you. Baby, you know what I won't do. I just wanna go and love you.